Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Everybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This was very stressful game. It looked like the Lakers were just gonna run away with it. It looked like the Lakers were gonna handle business, and then of course, in Laker fashion, decide to, try to make this game as close as possible. Try to make this game as interesting as possible. Look, LeBron and Reeves carried us offensively. But this was an ugly win, man. And the turnovers were insane. Again, LeBron was ridiculous this game. He also was a big reason this game was close. I mean, the guy tied his career high in turnovers. He had 11 turnovers. Austin Reeves, again, was a big part of us winning this game, was a big part of us being close, this game being close, man. They had what? They had 17 turnovers between the two of them? That is crazy. LeBron had 11, and Reeves had 6. Seriously, 17 turnovers between just the two of them. They had 22 turnovers total. That means only 5 turnovers were non-LeBron and Reeves turnovers. That is wild. Absolutely wild. Look, I'm glad we got the win, but we got to take care of the basketball, man. This has been a problem. This was a problem last game. It was a problem this game, right? Turning the ball. You're not going to win very many games when you're turning the ball over 22 times, right? That's insane. Absolutely insane, right? Again, I'll take the win. Solid win. But man, this was really bad. Look, it was a back-to-back game. Got the win, right? Righted the ship. And look, to be honest, I know people are going to look at it and go like, "Oh, it's only Portland. Portland's trash." Portland's won 6 straight home games, and they've been really good. They've won something like 7 out of 10 games or something like that, or 7 out of 11 games. They were on a really nice streak before that. This was a hard-fought game. Lakers are getting back into the swing of things. Other guys are not hitting shots. Again, Reeves and LeBron were fantastic offensively. Reeves was being aggressive in attack mode. Yeah, love to see it. Obviously, we need to kind of figure out Reeves, LeBron, and Luka, right? Those three need to kind of find their balance. But man, this was again, gotta take care of the basketball. I mean, look, love LeBron. He was absolutely ridiculous this game. Dropped the 40 piece, right? Dude was the hero. Put this team on his back. Him and Reeves said, "Don't worry, I'll carry us." LeBron was 14 of 24 from the floor, 4 of 8 from three-point range, 8 of 8 from the foul line, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, 11 turnovers is ridiculous. I remember in yesterday's live stream, a large majority of the people in here were getting on Luka for having 6 turnovers, and 5 of which came in the first quarter, and then he cleaned it up, right? Again, LeBron's got to do a better job. He's done in his defense, and the reason I don't want to be too critical of LeBron, because again, he was fantastic this game, carried us this game, but our turnovers have been an issue the last few games. LeBron was doing a really good job taking care of the basketball. I mean, even last game, he only had He had 2, right? He's done a lot better since early in the season. Remember earlier in the season, he was averaging 7 turnovers a game. He was leading the league in turnovers at one point. It was just it was bad, right? It was just come on, man. And then he really just cleaned it up, right? He had this the last 15, 20 games, he really cleaned it up. So again, I don't want to get too much on LeBron and the turnovers, but 11, come on, man. He's got to do better than that. Austin Reeves, same thing. Love Austin Reeves. He was fantastic this game. Just getting whatever he wanted, torching these guys. Came up with a big steal at the end. But got to take care of the basketball, man. Got to make sure we're doing a better job of just taking care of the basketball. But beyond that, those 2 guys really carried us. Everyone else was, everyone else was kind of mediocre, to put it nicely. We only had 3 guys in double figures, and the third guy was Dorian Finney-Smith. Right? Look, love Dorian Finney-Smith. He was also our highest plus-minus at a +20. Dorian Finney-Smith was a +20. There's a reason he's our highest plus-minus on the season for the Lakers. But outside of that, I'm actually surprised Jackson Hayes only had 9. I swear I felt like he got like 15 like just lobs this game. He was 4 or 7 from the floor. He had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, right? He was actually pretty solid this game. But going down the list, we'll jump into all the box scores, and then I'll jump into all the super chat questions and then the regular chat questions. So I see super chats trickling in. Keep sending them in, and then we'll jump into that and then the regular chat. But to break it down, Rui, 3 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3, 12 rebounds. He's rebounded the ball very well the last like handful of games. He has these like hit or miss stretches, right? He'll have like these stretches where he like gives you 2 rebounds, and then he just has these stretches where he gives you like 6, 7, 8. Right? He had like 8 last night, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. I think it was like 6 or 8. I think it was 8, and then 12 rebounds this game. Really good job crashing the glass, but only 6 points. He was a 0 on the plus minus scale, so he was neutral. Again, LeBron 14 to 24, 4 of 8 from 3, 8 for 8 from the foul line. That is huge though, because LeBron usually. We all love LeBron, but LeBron will usually give you a missed free throw or 2 or 4, right? Like, so it was nice to see him knock down those free throws, rebound the ball well. Words are hard. 4 assists, like I mentioned, 2 steals, 1 block, 11 turnovers. Isn't going to cut it, but gave us a 40-piece LeBron, age 40, dropping 40. Again, Dorian Finney-Smith was our third. It was the only third other guy in double figures, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, and then had 10 points, which is what you love to see. And then Austin Reaves, 9 of 21 from the floor, 2 of 8 from 3, struggled shooting the 3 ball, but I did like he got to the foul line. He was aggressive. He was in attack mode, right? Kept applying pressure on the defense. 7 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals, 2 blocks, but 6 turnovers. Again, he's got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball. 32 points. LeBron and Reaves carried this game, without a doubt. LeBron and Reaves, this was a 2-on-12 game. Dorian Finney-Smith was actually really good this game too, but beyond him, everyone else was very pedestrian this game. Gabe Vincent, 2 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3. He had a couple nice defense sequences, but for the most part, was again kind of felt pedestrian out there. Jordan Goodwin, I thought he did really good rebounding, doing the hustle plays, right? He's not really there for the offense. He's there for rebounding the basketball, which he gave you 5, and then just being a point of attack, defend, all that stuff. Trey Jamison, I really like Trey Jamison. I still think he's the guy that we should have gotten over Alex Len. In 14 minutes, he gave you 6 points, 4 rebounds, right? I mean, that's pretty solid, right, for the amount. I mean, again, Jackson Hayes gave you 7 in 28 minutes. So literally, you had Trey Jamison give you a double that. Dalton Connect struggled out there, and then Shake Milton struggled out there. Beyond that, not really much else to write home about. But, again, got to take care of the basketball. Got to do better. Denver's coming up. It's the big game. Denver, you cannot mess around. We cannot play around. We cannot fumble this game. I don't like how we played these last 3 games. The Utah game, I gave the pass to because, again, they're focusing on tomorrow instead of, they're thinking about tomorrow instead of focusing on today. I was willing to let that slide. I was willing to let that go. The game yesterday was completely inexcusable. You cannot lose that game. You have to win that game. Get right this game, bounce back, pull out the win. I loved it. But now it's time to lock in. Right? Now it's time to really focus because we got Denver here. And this is going to be a real test. It's going to be a good test for the Lakers to see, what do they got? Hopefully Luka can shoot the ball better, right? Hopefully he's not as sloppy offensively as he was. He's going to be playing his buddy Jokic, so maybe that'll kind of wake him up a little bit, get him going. I understand why he didn't play this game, but I do kind of wish we would have pulled out or would have played this game, kind of gotten into a rhythm. But nonetheless, right, tough schedule coming up. Got Denver, then you got the revenge game for Luka. It's not in Dallas, but it's here in LA. And then we have Minnesota? I think it's Minnesota. And then the Clippers twice. So you got it. I mean, these next 5 games, you got to go at least 3-2, right? You probably split the Clippers matchup, just because you play them literally back to back. Not back to back days, but back to back games. Tough. They're a good team. So you got to beat, in my opinion, you got to beat Denver, Dallas, and then the Clippers at least once. I'd like to beat Minnesota and the Clippers both times. I'd like to win all 5 games, but if you can go 3-2 during that stretch, I'm fine there. But again, we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, let's get into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all that stuff. Real quick, if you haven't yet, hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. And let's get into it. So, Legend coming out, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. More upside in two-way center than Lin because more chemistry. Yeah, I mean, I made the argument even before we signed Lin, and then even after Lin. I made a video the other day about it, right? Like that I thought that they should have maybe went with Alex Lin, right? Given him the opportunity. Let's see like what he can do out there. Or not, I'm sorry, Trey Jamison over Alex Lin. See what Trey Jamison can do out there. Because I like Trey Jamison, right? He's 6'11", 270. He's got good athleticism. He moves his feet well. He runs the floor well for a guy that's 6'11", 270. Like, I just think that he would have been fine for what you needed, right? Like, is he the answer at center? Like, no. He's probably still getting torched by most teams, but still, like, he's still a big physical interior presence. He's more mobile, and I think he's just more versatile than Alex Lin. I want to be fair on Alex Lin. I want to wait and see a couple games, see once he gets acclimated into the system. He didn't play at all this game, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like it's one of those things where I want to be patient with him, but I thought we should have signed Trey Jamison. I thought Trey Jamison would have given you the same stuff Alex Lin would have given you, maybe even more. But unfortunately, that is what it is, right? Edmund coming out with $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I don't see a comment, buddy. I don't know if you have something that you wanted to say or if you were just supporting. I'll keep an eye out on the chat. See, or I'll give you a second. See if there was something specific you had to say. If not, then I'll just come back to it once I see you comment. All right, let me get into the regular chat until some more super chats trickle in here, and then yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, so yeah, Edmund, if you had a comment, I will, like I said, try to keep an eye on the chat for you. But thank you. If it was just to support, I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, where were we? Goat James, yes, he was fantastic tonight. What's going on? LeBron carried us tonight. What do you think about Maxi Kleber will bring to this team once he's healthy? Also, by Lin, he sucks. First off, yeah, LeBron was fantastic tonight. I didn't like the turnovers, but outside of that, he was ridiculous. Him and Reeves, single-handedly, like the two of them just threw us on their back and just led us to the promised land. So that was great to see. But beyond that, Maxi Kleber, I mean, he gives you just another big, versatile big man that has chemistry with Luka, that can stretch the floor, be a bit of an interior presence, right? Like, he's a very good basketball player when he's healthy, right? He's not this, like, insane, he's not like, I don't think he's the difference in us, like, winning a championship or not, but he's definitely, like, a piece that can make sense for the rotation. I definitely think he's a guy that can really kind of plug in and really help with the rotation. I like his ability to stretch the floor. I like his ability to be an interior presence at times, kind of versatile in that manner. I don't know if he plays this season. I really don't. I don't know if we see him at all this season, but if he comes back, that'd be nice. Oh, man, Tyler, I wasn't able to watch the game because I'm in Portland, so can't watch it in my region. But, man, it looked like we tried to do everything to sell that game. Lakers absolutely did try everything to sell that game. It was ridiculous. But, hey, we pulled out the win. I'll take the win. Start righting the ship. Again, we have Denver coming up. Can't play around against Denver. Denver will absolutely run us out. And they're on a 9-game win streak. Didn't they win again today earlier? They won again today earlier. They're on a 9-game win streak. Right? They would love to make it 10 and on the Lakers. Let's go. Ugly win, but I'm just glad we're not the Suns GFX. Did the Suns lose again today? I know they were losing in the fourth, but I didn't actually – did they lose today. Those guys, the Suns are terrible, man. Yeah, they got smacked. They are awful. It is so crazy how bad the Suns are. Like, and look, I try to tell everybody as soon as they traded for Bradley Beal, I was like, oh, they just blew it. There goes any chance of them winning a championship. Um, Game shouldn't be this close. Turnovers killed us these 2 games without a doubt, 1,000%. Turnovers have absolutely just murdered us these last 2 games. Again, love LeBron, love Reeves. 17 turnovers between the two of them. Got to clean that up. Stinks coming out to $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Jamison screens and rolls hard. I love it. I love it too. I've done a couple breakdowns on Trey Jamison because I really am a fan of him. He sets very good, hard physical screens. He does a really good job of slipping from those screens, being the roll man, constant lob threat. Like I'm a fan of him. He's got that little turnaround. It's a little awkward. It's like he doesn't get enough lift at times, but no, he makes it. We've seen him make it a couple times since he's been on the Lakers. But just I wish we would have given him the opportunity. I think he's a guy that the Lakers should keep around. Personally, that's just me. But again, I appreciate you, Stakes. Jerome coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We about to go 2-3, lose to Denver Clippers once, and then the Timberwolves. Being unbiased, I can see a 15-15 down the stretch. I think it's going to boil down to how well Luka gets back to form. Right, Luka's going to solve a lot if he can kind of get back sooner rather than later. You know, if it takes him 10 games to really kind of get to like Luka, then that could spell some trouble for the Lakers, without a doubt. I mean, I think the Lakers go over 500. I don't think that they go 15-15 down the stretch, just because I mean, Lakers were like, what were they, 8-11 without Anthony Davis and LeBron for most of those games. So, and the schedule is tough. We got a ton of back-to-back stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I could see a couple losing streaks, but I think the Lakers get at least. I think the Lakers probably finish around 50 wins. So that would be 18-12. I think if Luka struggles mightily, like if he struggles for like another 10 games, then yeah, maybe. But I don't think that'll happen. I think like I wouldn't be shocked if he balls out next game because he's playing against his buddy Jokic. I think LeBron's going to do everything he can to win this game. I think 18-12 at worst. I wanted 20-10, but after that loss yesterday, I don't think that's happening. They're probably going to lose a couple other games. I think realistically, I'm gonna say 18. I'm gonna stick with 18-12. I still like the odds of 18-12. I think they win a couple of these games. To me, it's going to come down to Denver. I really think they can beat Minnesota. Minnesota's not very good at all. And they don't have the size that they once did, right? Lakers actually match up much better. Like, you just kind of live with Rudy Gobert dominating on the interior. Like, Lakers just live with that. But everyone else, I think you're fine, right? LeBron can match up with Randall. I think the Lakers will be fine in that regard. Like I said, I want to go 3-2. Beat the Clippers once. Beat Dallas, beat Denver. It's going to come down to the Denver game. If they lose to Denver, then yes, I think they'll go 2-3 during that stretch. So yeah, but appreciate you, Drew. Our bench gave 15 points. AR needs to be the sixth man. Look, I have been preaching it. I still think he should be. I know he killed it this game. I know he looked great offensively, but that's what the sixth man's supposed to do, right? When the guy comes off, your main star comes out, sixth man comes in, lights it up, right? Tony Parker misses a game. Manu, give me the rock. Don't worry, I got us, right? That's the whole idea. So I still think Austin Reeves should be coming off the bench to start games. That doesn't mean you can't close with him, right? If he's killing it, he's lighting it up, finish with him. But I just think it depends on the games. But yeah, our bench. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, nobody outside of Austin Reeves and LeBron played well. Like, nobody. Or Dorian Finney-Smith. Let me rephrase that. No one outside of, like, Dorian Finney-Smith played well. Trey Jemison was good, but, again, only played, like, a handful of minutes. So, but I appreciate you. Thank you for Super Chat again. All right, let's get back to the regular chat. So some more Super Chats trickle in. Let's see. Shoot, where was I? Oh, here we go. Also, it was this one. Oh, sorry. Also, we need Morris to play. He's good at threes and rebounding. I mean, Morris is rough. Look, even more. I mean, go watch who is he? Which interview was it? Oh, he was just doing a podcast the other day and I was watching it, and he was even like, dude, like he's like, he's basically just a veteran that's there just for support. He's Jared Dudley for the Lakers. He even knows that. Like he's even talked about it. He's hit a couple threes since he's came with the Lakers, but it's been in garbage time, and he's also missed half of them. Rui is, I mean, Rui can be inconsistent at times, particularly offensively. He's rebounded the ball very well these last few games. Ugly win, but I'll take it. Yes, low 40. I love it. Man, I seriously hope this is just all-star break Russ, because this is very scary to see, especially going into March. Luka got to get out of his slump or we're cooked. Yeah, I agree. I think Luka will be fine. I think he'll bounce out of it. I think he'll figure it out, right? And once he does, I think the Lakers will be fine. Lakers will probably still lose a couple games here and there just for chemistry issues, right? Trying to figure some stuff out. At the end of the day, as long as they figure it out by the playoffs, we're fine. Right? Like Lakers luckily have a good enough cushion to where they're not going to fall into the play-in, right? So they'll at least be a playoff team, but I want a top 4 seed, like badly. I want a top 4 seed. Oh yeah, LeBron absolutely. Look, I keep saying LeBron's still a top 10 player in the league, and on any given night, he can still tap into that top 5 status. They need any win they can get to not get stuck in the play. Lakers have a pretty good cushion from the play-in, like I mentioned. I'm not really worried about them falling into the play-in. It's just more like, could they have a skid and fall into like the 6th seed or something? That I think is a possibility. But Lakers are like 8 games or something like that. Oh wait, what are they? Here, let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Lakers are from the play-in. I guess they're 3 games, but they're 5 games in the loss column. Right? Like that's a lot of games. Right, when there's only so many left. Like Lakers are. Is Minnesota really going to be 5 games better than the Lakers? Probably not. Like even if Luka and LeBron didn't play, I don't even know if Minnesota is 5 games better than the Lakers. So I'm not really worried about. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but I'm not really worried about. I'm not worried about seeing anything like them falling into the play-in. I think they'll be at least a playoff team. Yeah, literally. LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Dorian Finney-Smith versus Portland. Yeah, without a doubt. That was 3 on 10. Rui needs to be involved more. He's out of rhythm. So I made a video earlier on AAS The Lakers Show talking about yesterday's game in particular. So I don't know why, right? Like, which I always think is funny is like, people. I feel like most people criticize JJ Redick for like all the wrong things, like stuff that he doesn't even have like say in, right? Like they'll be like, oh, Luke had 5 turnovers. It's JJ's fault. It's like, what? LeBron had 11 turnovers. It's JJ's fault. Like, what? It's like, how is that JJ's fault? Right? But one of the things that I thought JJ should have done better yesterday, the Lakers had a ton of success early on the Rui pin downs and sealing. Right? He kept getting on that block and he would just seal his defender and then just call for the ball. And they would just keep dumping it down to him. He had like 8 points yesterday on just like sealing the defender and calling for the basketball, or giving the pin down and being the slip man. Right? Like, and it was something that I was like, I don't know why we went away from that. Right? Like if I was JJ, I would have been like, dude, hey, this game's getting too close for comfort, especially when they went on a 23-1 run. I would have immediately called for, hey, get Rui. Oh, look at that. I just clapped my lights out. I'm too animated. I just clapped my lights out, literally. No, I would, but back to what I said, I would literally be like, hey, we need to get Rui on the block and get Rui to go and handle business, right? Like that's what I want to see more of, right? Like, which is why I want Rui to come off the bench, because I think he could be more of a focal point offensively if he's on the bench. He's more of just like an afterthought, right? He's more of just like a, like, oh yeah, what about him type thing. So I would like to see, because here's the thing too, you're gonna have Luka and LeBron out on the game most of the time, right? Especially come playoff time. They're not gonna be able to put a bunch of 6'3" guys on him, right? Like they're not going to be able to defend him in that manner. So there's going to be a lot of matchups, and maybe every night there was matchups in this game that were like that, where Rui's going to have the smaller defender on him more often than not, because teams are going to have to live with it, right? Teams are going to put a 6'3" guy on, Luka and LeBron. No, they're going to put their 6'7" to 6'9" defensive piece on Luka or LeBron, right? Like, so Rui's probably going to get those, like, and even most guys his size, right? If they put the twitchier wing on him, he can just overpower him. Again, he can just seal them in, call for the rock, dump it down to him, and let him go to work. I'd really like to see that more, right? I'm not saying you have to run every single play through him, but I do think it's something that the Lakers should get a heavy dose in, honestly. But again, I appreciate you. Thank you, Stakes. All right, let's get back to the regular chat till some more come in. Where was I? Ligo can still do it. Absolutely. Man, we have to get things together quickly, but happy we could win. Looked very tired out there. Yeah, and Lakers have a lot of, like, they have 4 more back-to-backs during the stretch during March, right? It's going to be brutal. Again, hopefully they figure some stuff out. Hopefully they start getting things together. Eventually that's going to come. Eventually they're going to figure it out. Will they figure it out enough to win a championship? That's the question, right? Like, I think Lakers will figure it out enough to be a playoff team. I think they'll figure out enough to maybe get to like the second round, maybe the conference finals, right? Because Luka and LeBron by themselves are good enough to probably get you to the conference finals on the right matchups. It's just, can they figure it out enough to where it's like, okay, yeah, they're clearly contenders, right? It's going to be good nights. It's going to be bad nights as always. But we need Luka to find his rhythm, right? Like I said, I'm not worried about Luka's offense. Like, that's the last thing we should be worried about. He was good everywhere else last night, right? The thing is about Luka and his lack of offense last night was he still got to all of his spots. He still created dribble penetration, and he still was able to get his shot off. Right? So like everyone's like freaking out, like, oh, he was so bad offensively last night. But it's like he just couldn't find his shot, right? He didn't have the touch on his shot. But he got every look he wanted. He got to every spot he wanted. I would be concerned if he wasn't able to do that. Right? Like, if he wasn't able to create dribble penetration, if he wasn't able to beat the defender and create those separations, if he wasn't able to get that spacing, to get shots off and stuff like that, right? Like, then yeah, I would probably be like everyone else, like the sky is falling. But that's not what happened. He just can't find a shot. If he can find his shot, which I trust he will, Lakers will be fine. They'll still lose some games here and there, but they'll be fine. Glad LeBron made the last free throws, waiting for him to take one shot and get that 40 FX. Our roster sucks outside of Braun and Luka and Reeves. Dorian Finney-Smith, pretty good, right? Again, like, people just look at the scoring, right? People look at scoring and they think like, oh, if you're not dropping 15, you're not doing anything. Dorian Finney-Smith is really good for this team. Really good for this team. But beyond Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, he's kind of had his struggles recently, but I trust Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt will be fine. Gabe Vincent's been really good. He wasn't great this game, but he's been good the last 15 games. Gabe Vincent's been very good. Again, it's just, I want to be patient. A lot of guys are out of rhythm. A lot of guys are trying to figure some stuff out, things like that. So we'll see how it goes. Prayers for Wemby, man. Yeah, so according to the Spurs, they're fine. According to the Spurs, it's just they don't think it's a lingering issue. They think it's just like a in the moment issue. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's fine. Hopefully he because blood clots aren't a joke, right? Like, blood clots. I mean, we've seen Chris Bosh. I mean, that was a lot more serious than Luka Wemby's is supposed to be, but it's still a blood clot. I mean, even guys like Christian Koloko, we've seen, right? He missed 2 years of his career because of blood clots. So definitely something that they need to monitor and keep an eye on. But I'm going to trust that the Spurs organization, they said, hey, he'll be fine. He's good. I trust that they know what they're talking about. Most of LeBron's turnovers were because guys couldn't catch passes, but yeah, crazy turnover game today. Yeah, I mean, still bad. Yeah, so like 7 of them were his fault, right? Like again, that's one of those things, right? Hey, come here. Sorry, my dog's digging. I had trash that I was gonna take out. I forgot to take out the trash can. She's getting in the trash. No. Stay there. Good girl. Thank you. Where was I? I could hear her digging through the trash. She'll pull that trash apart, right? Still a puppy. So I was like, oh no. Let's see, where was I? Ugly win, but I take it. JJ needs to open his eyes that Dorian Finney-Smith should be our starting small forward because Dorian Finney-Smith impacts more on this game than Rui. Tyler, I believe that we can win against Denver on Saturday. I believe we can win against Denver on Saturday. Also, I just, I want to see them start Dorian Finney-Smith too. I want to see them go a more balanced lineup. But I do have my concerns that that's probably not going to happen, right? Like if we're being honest, they're probably not going to go that route. So it's just, we'll see. Time will tell. Wemby is out for the season as it stands. Feel bad for Fox, man. Yeah. I mean, they weren't probably winning anything this year anyway, right? For being honest. I mean, they're like 4 games out from the play-in. So they were probably not even making the play-in anyway. But, I mean, any chance that they had of making the play-in went out the window. Let's see. They need a top 10 3-point shooter in the league next season for Lakers' third quarter slumps. I mean, shooting would definitely help. Let's see. This team is not a contender. I mean, as constructed, there's a lot of holes on this team. I mean, it's something I've already talked about. But what's the balance to that? A top-tier Luka and LeBron, right? Like, LeBron's taken worse teams to the finals than this team, for sure, right? Like, obviously he's not that guy anymore, but we've seen Luka take worse teams than this to the conference finals, so that's the great equalizer. I've seen enough Luka off the bench, but in all seriousness, I feel we can't compete until offseason adjustments. I mean, that could be a possibility. I think the Lakers will figure it out. Like I said, will they figure it out enough to win a championship and be contenders? That I don't know. But I do think that it's something where they got to figure it out, right? Like, so we'll see. Get Rui the F off my team. He is awful defensively. Defensively, yeah, he's terrible. Like I talk about it all the time. He looks like he's stuck in quicksand at times. Edmund, this game just proved that the Nuggets and my dog Jokic finish these guys Saturday night. LeBron and Luka is a turnover disaster, and Lakers won't get second seed. Tyler is goofy for this. I didn't say Lakers would get second seed. I said that they're in range of the second seed. I said from the beginning they're probably a top 4, maybe 5 seed. So again, you're gonna quote me, at least quote me correctly. I never said that they will be the 2 seed. I said that they actually are in range from the 2 seed. But I said that they'll probably finish the 4 seed, maybe the 5 seed at worst. Watch the Lakers look way better against them. 100%. I mean, look, Lakers love to play against their competition. Something we've talked about all season long. Right? Lakers play against Boston. They look like the best team in the NBA. Lakers play against, Charlotte. We look like the worst team in the league, right? That's usually how it goes. Dude, Denny is ridiculous. And what's crazy is Portland got him for essentially free, man. Like they didn't give up anything to go get him, which is wild. Let's see. Yeah, LeBron turned the ball over 11 times. I'm okay with that as long as he scores more than his turnovers. I mean, I don't know about that, right? Like, but yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to be overly critical of LeBron because he's done a better job recently of taking care of the basketball, but 11 turnovers is ridiculous, right? It's like you got 5 or something like that. I probably wouldn't even have mentioned it, right? But come on, man, 11 turnovers. Here for the we're better without Luka. Yeah. Oh my god. Get Dalton Connect also out of my team in the offseason. I really like him, but he clearly feels awkward or out of focus. Looks like he doesn't even want to be here. I mean, defensively, he's always been bad since the beginning of the season. Again, he's the 9th man in the rotation. It's why the Lakers wanted to trade him or were willing to trade him. Way to grind it out, yes. A 40-year-old with the most points. When will he hand the keys over? And AR 32 points. Next game, 13 points. Yeah. Well, I mean, he had no choice this game. I mean, Luka didn't play. If Luka was going to come back and kind of figure out his shot, need to trade Rui ASAP. You got to wait till the offseason. But I think this team looks very different in the offs, like very different. I wish they didn't either. Again, I'm not really disappointed in the Utah game. Obviously, I don't like the way we lost in the Utah game, but I was willing to kind of let that one slide. Yesterday's game is inexcusable. Lakers cannot lose that game yesterday. Like, that to me is inexcusable. Go Lakers, even bad turnovers back-to-backs. They won the chance to beat the Hornets. They should have beaten the Hornets, but again, I'll take it. Let's see. Ignore the 11 turnovers. It's great. LeBron, AR, Scoot, and Jeremy Grant won us this game. Dude, Jeremy Grant was awful this game. I really like Trey Jemison. He'd be on the perimeter, and if you turn on the volume, you hear his communication. So I've talked about that very thing. I did a whole breakdown, and one of the big things that I tried to hit on was that I love his communication, the way he vocalizes out on the perimeter, or just defensively, period. But I want to see Stanley Johnson. I don't think Goodwin got it locked. I wouldn't mind having both, right? Like, honestly, I wish what we would have done is instead Alex Len brought in Trey Jemison, waive Cam Reddish, bring in Jordan Goodwin, and then waive Markieff Morris and bring in a Stanley Johnson. I would have loved that. I don't think the Lakers are going to do that, but I would have loved that. Let's see. Let me find something real quick. Trey Jemison is better than Alex Len. I think so. All the more reason to trade Rui, especially if you can't help but have a love affair with him. Just need a different fit. Yeah. Look, I love Rui. I've talked about Rui a million times. I just think he doesn't work on this team. I just think he's out of position. He's not what we need on this team. And I think as long as he's on this team, the Lakers are going to continue to start him. And that's the problem. Let's see. Austin is not that guy. If he doesn't show up the next game against the Nuggets, time to show up against these guys. I mean, Austin Reeves, look, I've been very critical of Austin Reeves, very critical. And he is very inconsistent, right? That's been one of my biggest knocks with him, is he's all over the place. But in his defense, right, because, I like to be fair. In his defense, he's a guy that usually shows up in the big moments. The thing is that usually in the regular season, it's without LeBron or AD or both, right? Like this game, he was great because he didn't have Luka. I don't think he's going to play like this against Luka or with Luka, because Luka and LeBron are probably going to be on ball very heavily, which is why I think Austin Reeves needs to come off the bench. I think they need to have Austin Reeves come off the bench so they can go here. You just go be you when Luka isn't on the basketball court. And whenever Luka's not on the court, you have Austin Reeves on the court. And if he's having one of those nights where he's shooting the ball extremely well and he's, 3 of 5 from 3 or something like that, then you keep him on the court and you work it out, right? But if he's having one of those nights where he's like 2 of 8 from 3, then you got to go with the more defensive piece because he's not going to be able to be on ball enough for you to get it. That's the problem. Like when he's allowed to be aggressive, and it's something that I've talked about all season long. When you watch Austin Reeves, whenever he's allowed to be aggressive and just go, he's usually really good, right? But it's when he has to be more passive or be more of a playmaker or be more off ball or whatever. It's where you see the inconsistencies at times. There's times where he's just inconsistent, period, right? Like, again, that's my biggest gripe with him is that he's inconsistent, like just shooting the basketball and picking and choosing when to be aggressive. But more often than not, when he's allowed to be aggressive, he's good. So I don't know. I could see him be great next game, but I think with Luke on the court, probably not. Edmund, my Nuggets finna cook Leroy James and the Lakers. Thank you for the super chat for one. And two, you're going to be very disappointed, my guy. When LeBron and Luka loves to play Denver. If any game was going to get Luka out of his slump, it's the Denver game. So that Jameson dude deserves a spot over Alex Lentala. I agree. Blazers treated this game like it was Game 7. Not gonna lie. I mean, it's the Lakers. They've won 6 straight home games going into this game, so it's understandable. Let's see. LeBron will take care of the ball when he gets some more rest. Yeah. Look, like I said, I'm not like I didn't want to be too critical about it, right? And he's done a much better job taking care of the basketball. But when you have 11 turnovers, I gotta at least talk about it, right? Like if he had like 4 or 5, maybe even 6, I might have just like tried to keep it low key unless somebody else brought it up. Just because he has been like he had a what was it, a 6-7 turnover game like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even mention it. I was just like, because, and I even defended it. Somebody even said something in the chat, and I was like, look, the guy's been great taking care of the basketball. But when you have 11 turnovers, he literally had half of the team's total turnovers, right? Like that is ridiculous. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe came in clutch too, yeah. The free throws, as long as Rui's not at the foul line, man. Rui, I don't know who's worse, Rui or Anthony Davis in crunch time. Man, why are some people here just to hate on Tyler and the Lakers? That's weirdo liturgy because they got nothing better to do. Like it's like I say, at the end of the day, it's engagement. It helps the channel, right? Like, say what they got to say. Let them talk. It doesn't matter. They're not doing what they think they're doing. All they're doing is just helping, right? At least hit the like button, right? Like, make sure you hit the like button. Talk the talk you want to talk. Just hit the like button. And make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Everybody hit that like button too, by the way, and subscribe. If you're not going to subscribe to the channel. But like I said, it comes with the territory, right? Like, it's how you know you're doing something right, right? Because if people aren't hating, then I would be nobody. So, I'd rather have people hate and, have 200 people that are enjoying the conversation, right? So it's only a couple people in the grand scheme of things. Who cares? Also, this shows that AR's ejection lost us the game yesterday. I definitely think it was a factor. I don't think it's the sole thing that lost us the game. Because, I mean, again, Lakers had the lead with like 40 seconds left and blew it, right? Like, if it was one of those things where, like, AR getting ejected definitely changed the momentum, right? And, like, right after that, they went on the 23-1 run and all that stuff. It became a mess, right? But, like, again, Lakers got back into it. They had the lead, like, 4 times in the fourth quarter and just blew it, right? So I don't think it was the sole reason. Did it play a factor? Sure. I'm pretty sure that that's true. Let's see. Dorian Finney-Smith is the textbook def of an X Factor. Yeah, without a doubt, 100%. Austin was good defensively. Yeah, when he buys in, he can be good. That's why it's frustrating watching him just be a turnout, right? Like, just being there just to, like a traffic cone. They need to start running Rui, Gabe, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and Hayes. Yeah. Look, I've talked about it. I ideally would go with Don. Like, I've really thought about this a lot. And the more that I think about it, the more I like Luka, Jordan Goodwin. And the only reason Jordan Goodwin is because he's just bigger and is a guard, right? He makes sense for a guard. He's physical and he rebounds the ball very well, right? So we can use that defense, that hustle, that dirty work, right? So I like Luka, Jordan Goodwin, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Jackson Hayes. right? I think that's a very well balanced, well versatile. I think you got the three guys that do the dirty work in Hayes, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jordan Goodwin. Three guys that can run the floor, do all the hustle plays. I like that. And then after that, I really like the bench unit to be. I really like the bench unit to be Gabe, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, and then, or I guess this side, and then Alex Lynn. Or if you just don't want to go, dang, what do I keep doing? Or if you don't want to go, my light's stuck to my chair. Give me a second. Let me fix this. Give me a second because it's going to keep happening. Stuck to my chair. Or the cord is like wrapped around my chair. There we go. All right, there we go. That should fix it. There we go. Sorry about that. It's like the third time that's happened. Yeah, so I think, now you just have a much better balanced starting five, and you got a much better balanced bench five, right? So I just think you have just better balance overall. That's personally how I would go. But yes, I agree with you, Reeves as a six man. Let's see. Also turning into the X Factor too. He's really getting comfortable in the lobs, going and getting those lobs. Nice little 40 piece, but 11 turnovers, chill, Bron. He's still the GOAT, though. Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. Right? You summarized it beautifully. Like, dang, he really gave you a 40 and he's 40. And then it's like you follow that up with like, oh, but he had 11 turnovers. It's like, oh, come on, Bron. I want to just like hype you up. Like, stop giving the haters things they hate on. Jackson is involved. Lakers are looking for him more, right? Jordan Goodwin has been bad these last 2 games. I disagree. He's rebounded the ball well. He didn't play last game. The previous game, he only played like 7 minutes or something like that. The 2 games where he actually was part of the rotation and played and actually got to be a key piece, he was excellent. He had what was it, 15 in one game and 17 in the next, or 12 in the first game and 17 in the next, and then had like 15 rebounds total in that game and between those 2 games. And then you look at this game, getting rebounded the basketball. He's there to do 2 things. He even said it himself, right? He did a whole interview about it where he talked about the Lakers want him to do 2 things: rebound and defend. And he's done both very well. I mean, again, this game he played 20 minutes and he got you rebounds. He defended the ball well. I thought he's doing exactly what the Lakers brought him in to do. Let's see. I love Dorian Finney-Smith. Man, Jackson Hayes was great again and certainly deserves the contract in the offseason. Really hope he stays in LA. I wouldn't mind it. I still want a more serviceable center, right? I want a starting caliber center, right? I've talked about it. I'd really love to get back to, your like the 2020 center rotation, right? You had Anthony Davis, who was the skilled center. Obviously, you're not going to replace Anthony Davis, but you can still get a skill center that can do a little bit of everything, right? Like Mark Williams healthy would have made a lot of sense, right? Because he's a guy that can, be that lob threat, be that floor runner, but he has a bit of an offensive game, right? So I like the idea of having that skilled big that can do a little bit of everything, having that big physical interior center in like a Trey Jamison, and then have like a Jackson Hayes as like your floor running high flyer. So whatever matchup you have, you can match it. I like that personally. Yeah. Braun and NAR really did wonders this game. Everything, of course, that's the Lakers. Again, it's the Lakers. Tyler, we should have gave everything for Turner and Nesmith. Do you agree? I would have loved for them to do it. Unfortunately, they weren't available. Lakers wanted him. Lakers inquired about him, about both of them. But unfortunately, they weren't available. They believe that they'll be able to keep them. But yeah, if they could have gotten, I would, even in the offseason, right? If Miles Turner is like, hey, I want out of here, then, hey, go work it out to go get him. We went to how we were when he wasn't starting. To be honest, I could see Max becoming like Shea. He's not explosive enough to be like Shea. I think he could be like I talked about like what I thought his absolute ceiling was. And I said that I really thought he could be like a shorter Paul George. And people thought I was crazy. Like literally, people literally laughed at me and told me I was crazy. And now I get that, like, hey, I could see him being like a shorter Paul George all the time. Right. Because, and what I meant by that is being a two-way that could play the 2 or the 3, be able to create his own shot, be able to shoot over the top, be a difficulty shot maker, be able to knock down the 3 ball while also defending the best player on the other team, right? That's what I saw in Max Christie. That's what I would say regularly. I wasn't saying that he would be, Paul George, because Paul George was very different, right? Like Paul George was just bigger and everything, it just bigger. Like he's 6'9", right? Versatile. But I thought he could be a smaller version of that. Like a legit two-way, just go one of the better, get you a bucket, get you a stop guys in the league. That's what I thought Max Christie could become. And he's really starting to shape up into that. Like seriously, he's looking just like that for Dallas. He's been great. He's averaging like 17 a game, all of it. So, people said I was crazy. People said I was a madman. Now look at him at Dallas. A lot of people owe me an apology. Just want to say, Andrew, weren't you one of the people mocking me and making fun of me? Huh? I appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you, buddy. But you were making fun of me. You talk hella mess. I didn't forget. They would have for sure lost if Doncic played tonight. I don't know. Again, I mean, it depends how he would have played, right? It depends on how good he would have been. But yeah, I think it depends. But PG podcast champ. Let's see. Man, I missed this chat. Oh, good. Welcome back. For Turner, day one of moratorium. Yeah, thanks. Let's see. We need to waive Alex or Luka getting ready for Jokic. Yeah, 1,000%. He loves to play Jokic, man. We need to waive Alex and bring up Trey. Yes, ideally. It's time to start Dorian Finney-Smith over Rui. I agree. I've been screaming that for a while now. Let me see. If you remember, it took Kerr until Game 4 of the finals, his first year, to shake things up and start Iggy. Hopefully, it doesn't take JJ that long to man up and do that. Yeah, I mean, so like JJ's done a good job of, JJ's done a really good job of like changing up, kind of picking and choosing the starting unit, right? But it usually happens when the Lakers go on a losing streak, right? Lakers lose 3 or 4 games. Usually JJ, like you saw, like Lakers went on like a 6-game losing streak and he changed the lineup like 3 times, right? Lakers keep winning. They're probably not going to change it. I'm not worried about the regular season. I'm actually like Lakers will probably win 18 games if Luka can get back to being Luka with the starting unit that they have right now. I'm worried about come playoff time. Right? Because you need to, like, if they just want to like outscore everybody, I don't know like that might work against some teams, but it's not going to work against the best of the best teams. Like, you're not just going to outscore Boston and Denver, right? You're going to have to get some stops, and that's my dilemma. Andrew, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. I got to give you your props on Max. You were right. Oh, Andrew, you didn't have to give me a super chat to say that. I could have saw that. I appreciate the super chat, of course. I was just joking with you. I just picking on you, giving you a hard time because you gave me a lot of hard. You were regularly like, "Hey, remember when you said we'd be talking? You and me be having a great conversation, like, yeah, Zach LaVine, we got to do this or we got to do that, we got to do this," and then you'd be like, just randomly, just like throw it in there just to give me a stab, just like, yeah, dude, I totally agree with you. But remember when you said Max Christie could be, and I was like, man. Now look, Andrew. But no, in all seriousness, I appreciate you. Thank you. You didn't have to give me a super chat for that. I appreciate the super chat. I'm never going to say no to a super chat. But, I was just giving you a hard time. I was just teasing you a little bit. But thank you. I appreciate you. Seriously. Let's see. Let's see. Let me find a couple more. All right, I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna skid on out of here, so I can get some videos done, do all this stuff. Oh, that stretch feels amazing. Give me a second, everyone. That feels amazing. Oh man, that felt great. um, let's see. Let's see. Our starting lineup is Luka, AR, Rui, LeBron, and Hayes. If everyone healthy, our best defender, being a 40-year-old, you're not wrong. 100%. 100%. Which is why I really, again, I think during the regular season, you'll be fine. During the regular season, you can kind of get away with those type of lineups, those type of rotations. But when you're talking about, like the playoffs, and you're going to have to play both sides of the basketball, at least serviceable, I don't like that even serviceable. Again, I think you can outscore like team like Houston. I think you can outscore them 4 times, right, in a series. Memphis, I think you can outscore them 4 times in a series. But like team like Denver, I don't think you're outscoring them 4 times in a series. Team like Boston, I don't think you're outscoring them 4 times in a series. Even OKC, which I do like the matchup against OKC, I don't know if you're outscoring them 4 times in a series. Rui was awful tonight. Can't play against Jokic. I like that onset if you expect him to win. Yeah, agreed. He's got to pick it up, and he's probably going to play Jokic a couple times. Lordy, what is wrong with Vando now? Just precaution. They rested him and Luka. You got to remember, they just came back. They're trying to be cautious. They don't want any of them to get hurt. So Vando, he should be back soon. I love your channel, to be honest. Well, thank you, Art. I appreciate it. Seriously, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Jameson is still terrible. What has somebody got to do to appease you, man? The Reeves Christie duo was looking so good. I talked about it. I would have rather given up Reeves and kept Christie. Christie is literally everything this team needs right now. Everything. Legit 3-and-D guy. And you would have Max Christie and Luka for the next like 15 years. And Max Christie is only $8 million a year for the next 3 years after this. Right? Like, man, it would have been so nice. And nobody, like even Reeves stands, wouldn't have complained if you traded Reeves for Luka. Because everyone would have been like, oh, you got Luka. Right? Like no one would have said anything if Reeves went for Luka. Right? So like I think that was like your one shot, your one chance. And it's just like, again, I like Reeves. I just think him alongside Luka and LeBron is, I don't know how well that's going to work, right? Like, I don't know if they're going to be able to figure that out enough to win. But anyway, let's see. Is the move if we can't get Miles Turner, Kamara, incredible defender, great point of attack, and then Rob offers you that rim protection. Lob threatening. I like Rob Williams a lot. The problem with my only issue with Rob Williams is he can't play more than like 7 games, right? Like he's only like even going into this game, he only played 3 games in their last 10. Like if the guy plays 2 games in a row, he has to sit out for another 10. Like it sucks. Tyler Dorian Finney-Smith is a born winner. I'm right there with you. He is an elite role player that does a freaking job every single game. JJ refuses to start him over Rui. It is a crime at this point. It's indefensible. Look, I don't disagree with you at all. Right? Like it is frustrating. It is incredibly frustrating. The one like argument, right? I don't think it's defensible, but the one argument is like it hasn't warranted. Right? Like if the Lakers go on an extended losing streak, I could see him being like, all right, we got to change it up, right? My concern is I don't know if we're going to go on that streak. I know we just lost 2 games, but again, the Utah game, you can talk yourself into. The game yesterday, Luka had about as bad of a game shooting the basketball as possible, right? And you still had a chance to win that game. You still should have won that game. I think there is that kind of argument, right? But will we lose another 3 or 4 games in a row? Do we even want to lose 3 or 4 games in a row? I think it's something that I think it'll be something. I think it'll be something that doesn't change until the offseason. We're not beating Denver. I disagree. I think we actually have a chance to beat Denver. I do. I think I think I'm gonna say Lakers beat Denver. I really do. I think Luka, that if Luka's ever gonna wake up, it's that game. Let's start to pray tonight till Saturday. Yeah, for the game Saturday effects. Man, I really want to win that game, like badly. All right, let's do like 5 more. Rui will hold Jokic on Saturday FX. You're not wrong. Yep, Denver, Dallas, Clippers next. Yep. Jokic is going to get his. I'm not worried about it. What can't happen is our wings can't let Murray and Michael Porter go off for 30 or something, or it's going to be on line. Exactly. 100% on. Jokic has never been our problem, right? Like Jokic, again, you're not going to stop Jokic. Jokic averaged 30, 11, and 8 against Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. A 4-time defensive center of the year, player of the year at the center position. And believe it or not, Karl-Anthony Towns actually defended Jokic better than Rudy Gobert. And Jokic still clapped both their cheeks at the same time and said, stop, sit down, right? Hold my pudding. It's time to go, right? Like, and you're not going to stop Jokic. But Lakers' problem has never been Jokic. It's been everybody else. Every time we play Denver, Michael Porter Jr. plays like he's prime Klay Thompson, and Jamal Murray plays like he's prime Michael Jordan. If we can contain those two, Lakers probably win this game. So, again, I want to wait and see how they show up. Rui is the Jokic stopper. I don't know about that, but dude, I want to see Trey Jemison go up against Jokic. 100%. I really do. Let's see. It's over when they face Denver. Laker fans want them to win against them so bad. Denver gonna destroy. Watch Denver let them have the lead and then come back and win with the Lakers not ready. Again, it's very possible, right? Like the safe bet is to take Denver, but people also the same thing against the Celtics and all these good teams we played the last few games. Lakers love to play big, step up, and I do think if Luka is ever going to pick it back up, it's going to be against Jokic. Again, I'm not saying that we will. I'm not saying that we're going to run through the Denver or anything like that, but don't be surprised if we win the game, right? Again, I wouldn't bet on it, but don't be surprised if we win the game. Luka needs to go out there and shoot the first 10 shots of the game. If he ain't going to play D, he might as well drop 30 FX. Health issues with them. Lakers still need a center. You're not wrong. All right, let's do 2 more, and I'm going to skate on out of here. It's time for Rui to come off the bench. You're not wrong. Derrick Jones Jr. role would be beautiful. He really left Chicago and then immediately became like you're like prototypical 3-and-D guy, which is hilarious. All right. I agree. Alex Lynn is hella pointless. So nothing came of that Hornets dispute. No, nothing. Nada. I have a video in the morning. His agent's been like on a smear campaign, which I think is hilarious. But outside of that, yeah, nothing. Alex Lynn will hold Jokic to 50, 20, and 9 instead of 50, 20, and 10. Yes. All right. Let's do low-key. Hope LeBron doesn't burn out. That's my concern too. He still has to exert so much energy to be our best player to give us a shot of winning. Yes, agree. That's why I'm hopeful Luka figures it out sooner rather than later. Because if Luka can figure it out sooner rather than later, then I think LeBron will be able to, kick in the reserve a little bit here, which is what we need. He's still going to go get his 20 because it's LeBron, but he won't have to overexert himself. And Andrew, predictions for Saturday's game and the next 4 games. I'm going to say, first off, I appreciate $2 super check. I'm going to say the Lakers beat Denver. I really am. I think it's set up perfect. right? Everyone thinks the Lakers are terrible. Everyone thinks Luka's terrible. I think this is Denver's on a 9-game win streak, right? I think it's set up for the Lakers to finally get that win. And then all the narrative, all the media, all the conversation, everything's going to be like, oh my God, the Lakers, can they do this thing? Because the Lakers haven't beaten Denver and in the regular season in like 5 years, literally, right? Like they haven't beaten them in like 40 games. Are we at home or are they at home? We're at home, right? Oh no, it's at Denver. Ooh, even better. I actually like that even more because we're going to be at Denver. I think it's set up like perfect for that. I'm going to say they beat Denver. Right? Again, don't bet. I wouldn't bet on it. It's not something I would like lay money on. Save your money. But I'm going to say that they beat Denver. I'm going to say that they beat. Yeah, I'm going to go Denver, Dallas, Clippers. They're going to lose to the Clippers once. Minnesota is the game that I'm kind of like iffy on. Because my fear is we beat Dallas, or we beat Denver, and then the next immediate game is Dallas, right? Yeah. My concern is that the Timberwolves is going to be a trap game. I think what's going to happen is the Lakers are going to beat Denver, and then you're going to have that emotional Luka game against Dallas, and the Lakers probably just blitz Dallas. I mean, just run through Dallas. And then I think everyone's going to go, oh my God, Luka's back, Lakers are this, that, and the other, and then they're going to lose to Minnesota. So I'm going to say that they lose to Minnesota, they lose to the Clippers once, and I think they go 3-2. 3-2 down the stretch. That's my prediction. Lock it in, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to skate on out of here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you all so much for being here. Everyone that gave me super chat, seriously, I appreciate it a ton. It really does help me out a lot. But yeah, I'll be back for that game. How many days do we have for the next game? When's the Denver game's the one that's quick? Yeah, Denver game's on the 22nd. It's the Dallas game. We got 3 days in between. So yeah, so I'll see you guys on the Denver game. I got a bunch of videos to get ready and done for you guys. So stay tuned. See you guys soon.